My girlfriend yelled, "You're holding me back," I said, "Fly free." Then I unsubscribed her from my streaming gym and let her lease expire. A week later, her friends were messaging me asking what happened. For the past 2 years, I believed things were going pretty well with my girlfriend Teresa's. We lived together in an apartment under my name, though we split the bills, or rather, I paid them, and she'd send me her share. I make a decent living as a data analyst. Nothing extraordinary, but stable. Teresa calls herself an aspiring influencer lifestyle coach. Her words, not mine. I have always supported her. I paid for the high-speed internet she needed for streaming, the top-tier gym membership for her fitness content, and several other subscriptions she insisted were essential for her brand. I never saw it as just my money. I saw it as investing in us, in her dreams. I was happy to do it because I loved her, or at least, the person I thought she was. The cracks started showing a few months ago, small comments here and there. If I had a more aesthetic apartment, my engagement would be higher. My friend's boyfriend just bought her a new lighting rig. I brushed them off. I'm practical. I'm saving for a house, not Instagram props. The breaking point came last Tuesday. I got home from work, exhausted. She was in the living room, furious. She'd been filming a quote day in the life video, and the Wi-Fi had buffered for 5 seconds during her live stream. To her, it was the end of the world. I tried to stay reasonable. "Babe, I can call the provider tomorrow. It's probably just a network issue in the area." That was the wrong thing to say. "It's always something," she snapped. "This connection, this small apartment, this whole situation. Don't you see it? You're holding me back." I just stood there, keys still in my hand. "Holding you back from what?" "I pay for the premium internet package you asked for." "It's not about the internet, Noah," she said. "It's about the mindset. My brand is about aspiration, living your best life, and I'm stuck here in this average life with you. I could be so much more. But you're content with just being content. You're a cage." A cage. Me, the guy working a 9 to 5 so she could chase a dream that had not earned more than a lemonade stand. The guy eating cheap lunches all week so we could afford her organic, ethically sourced, gluten-free whatever for a single sponsored post. Something in me just shut off. The anger I expected wasn't there. Instead, there was a cold, clear calm. I looked at her, really looked, and didn't see the woman I loved. I saw a stranger who saw me as a utility. So I took a breath and said calmly, "You're right." She blinked, caught off guard. I am?" "Yes," I said, walking into the kitchen and setting my lunchbox down. "You deserve to live your best life, to be aspirational, to not be held back by my average, content existence. You should fly free, Teresa." A smug, triumphant smile crept onto her face. "So you get it then? You'll start making some changes? We can look at bigger apartments. Maybe you can invest in my brand properly." I shook my head. "No, I meant what I said. You should fly free. I'm unsubscribing you from my life." Her expression collapsed. "What are you talking about? I'm holding you back," I said, pulling out my phone. "Let's fix that." Right in front of her, I logged into my streaming account. Her profile sat beside mine. Click, remove profile. "No more sharing my Netflix. You'll need your own account for your chill time vlogs." Her jaw dropped. "Noah, what are you doing? Setting you free," I said, moving to the next app. "Gym membership, that's under my family plan. Let's cut that." Click, remove member. "You'll have to get your own, probably better that way. You can find one with better selfie lighting." Her voice rose, sharp and strained. "You can't do that. My fitness content depends on that gym. And your freedom depends on not being tied to me," I replied evenly. "I'm just giving you what you want." I looked up from my phone and met her furious stare. "The lease on this apartment is up at the end of next month. I just got the renewal notice. I won't be signing it with you. In fact, I think I'll find a smaller one-bedroom place, something that fits my average life better." She just stood there, staring, speechless. The entitlement on her face clashed with pure shock. It was something to see. "You're dumping me?" she finally stammered. "No," I corrected her calmly. "You said I was a cage. I'm just opening the door. Fly free, Teresa." Then I went into my bedroom and packed a bag with the essentials: clothes, my work laptop, toiletries. I told her I'd be staying at my brother's place and would come back over the next few weeks to collect the rest of my things. I needed to give her space, but also create distance for myself. I didn't yell, I didn't cry, I just acted. That was a week ago. I've been sleeping on my brother's couch. It's less comfortable than my bed, but 1,000 times more peaceful. I haven't heard from Teresa directly, but her friends have been busy. My phone has been blowing up with messages. Dude, what's wrong with you? Teresa is a mess. You know she needs that gym for her work. Why would you be so petty? Are you seriously kicking her out after everything she's done for you? Teresa said you had a psychotic break. Are you okay? You should really apologize to her. They're painting me as the villain, the unstable ex who just flipped a switch. They have no idea what she said to me. They only know the version she's telling. For now, I haven't responded to any of them. I'm just documenting every message, every accusation. Let them talk. They and Teresa are about to get a masterclass in natural consequences. Update 1. Alright, it's been another 2 weeks. The dust hasn't settled. If anything, it's turned into a full-blown entitlement storm. Thanks for all the comments and DMs on my last post. It's strangely reassuring to know I'm not crazy. So, where to begin? The influencer squad, I guess. The messages from her friends Sarah and Marie didn't stop. They shifted from confused concern to outright hostility. I kept ignoring them, which apparently was the worst offense of all. Last Friday, I got a call from an unknown number. I answered. It was Sarah. She didn't even say hello. Are you just going to ghost everyone? Teresa is having a full-blown crisis and you're acting like a child? Hello, Sarah. I'm not ghosting anyone. I'm disengaging from a situation where I was told I was the problem. Teresa wanted to be free from me holding her back. I'm respecting her wishes. Oh, cut the crap, Noah. You know she didn't mean it like that. You're supposed to fight for her. Instead, you cancel her gym membership? Seriously? Marie told me her client leads from that gym have completely dried up. A little context. Teresa doesn't have clients. She has a few hundred followers and once got a free protein bar for a post. The client leads were just guys hitting on her at the squat rack. Her business ventures are her responsibility now. That's what independence means. Unbelievable, Sarah snapped. She's going to lose her apartment because of you. She can't afford a security deposit for a new place right now. You know her brand is just starting to take off. You're supposed to be her support system. A support system isn't a blank check. The lease is ending. It's a natural cutoff point. She has until the 31st to figure it out. That's more notice than most people get. She scoffed, a sharp, condescending sound. Wow, you have really changed. I guess this is who you really are, petty and cruel. Then she hung up. But the main event came from Teresa herself. A few days after that call, I received an email from her. Not a text, not a call, an email. The subject line read, Urgent Logistics and Asset Division. I couldn't make this up. It was a bulleted list, financial support. As you know, my income is variable as I build my brand. My business coach, some guy she watches on YouTube, states that a sudden loss of spousal support can be detrimental to a fledgling female-owned business. I have calculated a fair transitional alimony of $1,500 per month for the next 6 months. This will allow me to secure a new apartment and continue my work without interruption. Asset claim. The following items in the apartment were used for my content creation and are therefore business assets. I will be taking them. I took the 65-inch smart TV for watching and reacting to industry trends. The high-end blender for my smoothie recipes. The ergonomic office chair you bought for your work-from-home setup. It's perfect for my Get Ready With Me segments. And the potted fiddle leaf fig tree for background aesthetics. Subscription reinstatement. You need to reinstate the gym and streaming accounts immediately. They are shared assets we both benefited from. Your unilateral decision to cancel them was a breach of our domestic partnership agreement. We don't have a domestic partnership agreement. We were dating. Lease takeover. I've spoken to the landlord. He's an older man, very sweet. He said if you write him a letter confirming you're moving out and that I've been a responsible tenant, he'll allow me to take over the lease. You'll need to co-sign as a guarantor, obviously, since my income isn't traditional. I read that email 3 times. My hands didn't even shake. That same cold calm settled over me again. The sheer, unfiltered audacity. The entitlement was so dense it could have its own gravity. Co-sign for her. After she called me a cage, I took a day to draft my reply. I didn't want emotion. I wanted it to be factual, methodical. Over the past couple of weeks, I'd been stopping by the apartment when I knew she was out, packing my things. I boxed up my books, personal documents, and smaller valuables. The larger items, the TV, my chair, the kitchen appliances, even the tree, were still there. I had planned to move everything at once at the end of the month, but her email changed that. I replied, CC and D'ing no one. Subject, Urgent Logistics and Asset Division. Teresa, thank you for your email. I'll address your points in order. Financial support. I am not your spouse. There will be no transitional alimony. My financial obligations to you ended when our relationship did. I suggest you consult your business coach for strategies on monetizing your brand. Asset claim. Let's clarify ownership. The TV was a birthday gift to me from my parents last year. The blender was purchased using my credit card points. The ergonomic chair is my property, necessary for my actual bill-paying job. The fig tree was a housewarming gift to me when I first moved in, before you. You are welcome to take anything you purchased with your own money. For clarity, that includes the pink yoga mat, the ring light, and the collection of inspirational quote mugs. I have located digital receipts and proof of purchase for my items. Subscriptions. These were paid from my personal accounts for our shared use. Our relationship has ended. Therefore, my financial support for your personal entertainment and business tools has also ended. Lease takeover. This is the most notable point. You're asking me to act as your financial guarantor after stating that my financial situation was a cage holding you back. That is, at best, inconsistent. I will not be co-signing anything. You are free, truly free. That means free from my support and also free to support yourself. I have already informed the landlord that I will be vacating the property on the 31st and will not be renewing the lease under any circumstances. You have 12 days to vacate the premises and remove your belongings. Anything left after 5:00 p.m. on the 31st will be considered abandoned. I will be present that day with my brother to remove the remainder of my property. This is my final communication on this matter. Any further correspondence should concern the logistics of your move. Regards, Noah. I hit send. It felt like launching a satellite, clean, precise, controlled. The fallout was immediate. About an hour later, my phone buzzed. A text from her mother. Noah, Teresa is hysterical. We are very disappointed in your behavior. You need to call me so we can sort this out like adults. There are two sides to every story. I replied simply, hello Janice, there is one fact in this situation. Your daughter ended our relationship and now needs to move out. I wish her the best. Then I blocked her number. Teresa is about to learn that when you fly free, sometimes you crash straight into a wall of your own making. And that wall hits even harder when you try to take what is not yours. Update 2, it's the 30th. The day before move-out. The past 10 days have been a masterclass in psychological warfare. I feel like I've aged 5 years. Not from sadness, but from the relentless stress of dealing with a level of delusion that defies logic. After my last email, Teresa went quiet again. But this was a different kind of quiet, a plodding quiet. I used the time to secure a new one-bedroom apartment closer to my office, smaller, cheaper, and blissfully mine alone. I signed the lease and paid the deposit. My official move-in is the 1st. The plan was simple, retrieve my remaining belongings from the old place on the 31st and be done with it. Then, 4 days ago, the dirty trick I had half expected finally arrived. It wasn't a call, it was a formal-looking email from the landlord's management company. The subject line read, Formal Tenant Complaint Notice. My heart hammered in my chest as I opened it. The email was dry, bureaucratic. It stated that a complaint had been filed by the other occupant, Teresa, alleging a hostile living environment and emotional distress. It claimed I was using the lease termination to improperly evict her as an act of control. There were no specific accusations of abuse, just vague, legal-sounding phrases, but the intent was clear, to paint me as the villain and potentially create complications that might force me to pay her to leave or make the move-out process a nightmare. For the first time in weeks, my calm, collected narrator act faltered. My hands shook. I read it again, and a hot, sickening wave of panic washed over me. This wasn't about a gym membership anymore. This was a lie that could stick, a complaint that could go on record. She could actually ruin me with this. I immediately called my brother Jesse. He's a paralegal, and my voice was anything but calm. I probably sounded like a lunatic. She's lying. She's trying to screw me. What do I do? They sent an email, a formal complaint. Noah, breathe, he said, his voice steady as a rock. Stop talking. Breathe. Good. Now, what does the notice actually say? I read it to him. Okay, he said. This is a classic desperation move. It's vague because she has no specifics. It's designed to scare you. What did the landlord say? It's from the management company, I said. It just says they're making a record of the complaint and reminding all parties that the lease terminates on the 31st and the property must be vacated. Jesse let out a low whistle. Okay, so the landlord isn't taking her side. He's just covering himself. That's good, he's staying out of it. That means it's still between you and her. You have her email demanding alimony and asking you to be her guarantor, right? Yeah, I saved it. Perfect, he said. That's your shield. She's not a scared victim, she's a failed business partner trying to renegotiate her exit package. Don't engage with her. Don't reply to the notice. Just stick to the plan. Show up on the 31st to get your stuff. I'm coming with you. We'll handle this with facts, not feelings. That call pulled me back from the edge. The panic subsided, replaced by that cold, hard resolve. She had escalated. So would I, but with organization, not emotion. Which brings us to today, the 31st. High noon. I pulled up to the apartment building in a rented U-Haul van. Jessie was in the passenger seat. As we walked to the door, it swung open. Teresa was standing there, blocking the entrance. Sarah was behind her, phone raised as if filming a documentary. A very smug, very nasty documentary. You can't come in here, Teresa said, her voice dripping with fake victimhood. Teresa, the lease is active until 5:00 p.m. today, I replied, my voice leveled. I'm here to remove my personal property. No, she said, a small smirk on her face. You've caused me extreme emotional distress, and you've left all this stuff here to control and intimidate me. These are abandoned assets now, or shared assets. Either way, they're staying. She specifically pointed past me toward the van. And you're not putting my business equipment in there. She meant my TV, my chair, my blender, my tree. Your business equipment? I asked. Yes, Sarah chimed in, stepping closer with her phone. That TV is crucial for her media analysis. It's a business expense. This was it, the final, ridiculous stand. Jessie stepped forward slightly. Hi, Teresa, I'm Noah's brother, Jesse. Just so we're all clear, are you refusing to allow Noah to retrieve his belongings? I'm refusing to be intimidated, Teresa shot back. I had come prepared. I pulled a folder from my jacket. Teresa, this is getting silly. I have the credit card statement showing my purchase of that television. I have the email from my parents gifting it to me for my birthday. I have the order confirmation for the chair. Do you have anything to prove you own any of it? She faltered for a second. It was a gift for the apartment for us. Okay, I said, stepping forward. Let's say you want to argue that in front of someone. Want to call the police? Please, go ahead. Explain to them that you want to keep my property. I held up a second paper from the folder, a printed copy of her email. And when they get here, I continued, my voice dropping slightly, I'm going to show them this email you sent me 2 weeks ago. The one where you, a woman supposedly living in a hostile environment, demanded that I, your alleged source of distress, co-sign a new lease for you and act as your financial guarantor for another year. I'll also show them your demand for $1,500 a month in alimony. How terrified do you think you'll look then? I saw it in her eyes, the entire narrative crumbling. She had built her strategy on me being emotional, on a landlord being easily swayed, on her friend's support being enough. She never planned for receipts, for calm, documented logic. Sarah lowered her phone. The smugness on her face was gone, replaced by confusion. She was realizing her brave, victimized friend was actually just a bad liar. Teresa just stared at me, her mouth opening and closing silently. All the fire was gone. We're going to move my TV now, I said, and my chair, and my blender, and my tree. You and your friend can either help or get out of the way. Your choice. She didn't move, but she deflated, stepping aside. She looked small, pathetic. For the next hour, Jessie and I loaded my things into the van. Teresa and Sarah sat on the floor in her now empty bedroom, whispering. They didn't offer to help. They didn't say another word. The power was gone. As we loaded the last box, I took one final look at the apartment. All that was left were her things. The yoga mat, the ring light, some clothes strewn about. It looked temporary, a stage for a life that hadn't happened. I walked to the door, didn't look at her, and said, "Leave your key on the counter. Goodbye, Teresa." I didn't feel triumphant. I didn't feel a rush of victory. I just felt empty and tired, but also profoundly, deeply relieved. The cage door had been open for a month, but it felt like I was the one who had just flown out. It's over. She has to figure out her own life now. And for the first time in 2 years, so do I. My new apartment, even with an air mattress on the floor, has never felt more like home.